Okay, here we are, ready for another deep dive. And today, we're tackling something pretty fundamental, the power that's right inside your own mind.
That's right. We're exploring the ideas of Joseph Murphy, specifically his, well, really revolutionary take on the subconscious mind.
And its connection to what he termed a universal mind. It sounds pretty expansive.
It is, and we're basing this on a collection of sources. You provided some really interesting excerpts about Murphy himself, and importantly, his book, The Cosmic Energizer.
Yeah, and our mission today isn't just to, skim the surface. We want to pull out the real core insights.
The nuggets of wisdom,
Exactly, to really understand Murphy's main point. That your subconscious mind, it's not just passive, it's like a direct line to this universal source.
and potentially the key to manifesting, well, everything in your life.
It sets up a big question right from the start, doesn't it? What if the key to everything you want isn't out there somewhere?
But it's already within you. An intrinsic power just waiting to be understood and directed
Hmm.
makes you think.
Definitely. Okay, so let's unpack this. Who exactly was Joseph Murphy? The material paints him as quite a character.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Born in Ireland, 1898, his background was, well, not straightforward, raised Catholic initially.
Right.
But then he really dove into other areas, Vedanta philosophy, metaphysical science. He wore a lot of hats.
Like pharmacist,
Yeah.
priest, New Thought minister.
And a hugely successful author, over 30 books. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is probably the one most people know.
That's the big one. But running through all of it, the central idea keeps coming up. He apparently said, quite directly, your subconscious mind is God in action through you. That's bold.
It's a very bold statement. And I think what made Murphy resonate with so many people was his ability to take these, deep, almost mystical truths.
And make them practical.
Exactly. Turn them into tools you could actually use. He
Yeah.
wasn't just about theory. He wanted to empower people in their everyday lives,
Yeah.
show them how to access this infinite intelligence, as he called it.
Infinite intelligence. And he believed this intelligence responds to what we impress on our subconscious, like our thoughts become a kind of blueprint.
That's the core concept. The universe, or this infinite intelligence, uses your subconscious beliefs as the mold it fills.
Okay, so that leads us straight into the subconscious itself. He called it the womb of creation.
Yes.
Yes.
Not just memory storage, but a creative space. The birthplace of your reality, in a sense.
So help us differentiate here. The conscious mind, that's the part we're usually aware of, the thinking, choosing part.
That's your everyday reasoning mind, the part that analyzes, selects, makes decisions. It's like the captain of the ship.
Okay.
But the subconscious, it operates very differently. Its job is to accept what the conscious mind feeds it. And then, crucially, it executes it
Without questioning.
without question. That's the key. It doesn't analyze whether something is good or bad, true or false. It just takes the instruction.
And the sources pull out that really striking quote, the subconscious mind cannot take a joke.
Think about the implications of that. Every idle thought, every passing worry, every negative assumption you might entertain, even casually,
Your subconscious just goes, okay, boss, got it.
pretty much. It accepts it as an instruction and starts working to make it real in your experience. So, from Murphy's perspective, your reality is largely a printout of your subconscious programming.
That's sobering, actually. It makes you think about how much junk we might be feeding it without realizing.
It really underscores the importance of conscious, intentional thought.
So if we break down his model, conscious mind is the selector,
Chooses the blueprint, yes.
subconscious mind is the builder,
Takes that blueprint and gets to work.
and the universal mind, that's the source energy, the raw material and intelligence.
Exactly. It's the infinite field of potential that responds when the subconscious presents it with a clear, believed-in blueprint. When your subconscious is saturated with belief, that's when it taps into the universal mind and brings things into form.
Okay, now the material brings in this other book, The Cosmic Energizer, Miracle Power of the Universe. Sounds intense, and maybe less famous.
Seems so. But apparently, it takes these ideas even further, maybe into more explicitly mystical territory.
So what is the Cosmic Energizer, according to Murphy? Is it just another name for the universal mind?
It seems closely related, but described perhaps more vividly, not as some abstract force out there, but as a living, intelligent energy, something that permeates absolutely everything,
Including you.
including every atom of your being, yeah. It's described as the presence of God within you.
Wow. There's that quote you mentioned. The cosmic energizer is the presence of God in every atom of your being. It flows through your subconscious mind like electricity through a wire.
That electricity metaphor really makes it feel immediate, doesn't it? Like it's actively flowing through you via the subconscious.
So this book, The Cosmic Energizer, it apparently has these like invocation-style affirmations.
That's what the sources suggest, and lots of stories about miracles. But Murphy apparently framed these not as supernatural events breaking laws.
But is natural law applied correctly?
Precisely. Using the subconscious to align with this cosmic energizer.
What seems really key about this book is the shift it implies. It's less about asking or begging an external power.
And more about aligning your inner state, impressing your subconscious with what you desire, and then just allowing this energizer to work.
It's an internal activation, not an external petition.
Right. And there's that example affirmation. The cosmic energizer flows through me now. It vitalizes, heals, and prospers every aspect of my being. I am one with the infinite presence.
Saying something like that, it feels different than just thinking positive. It's more like a declaration of being, isn't it?
It feels like it, yes. The goal, based on the material, isn't just temporary positive feeling. It's about deeply imprinting that reality onto the subconscious.
To awaken your miracle consciousness, as he apparently called it.
Yeah, a kind of deep inner knowing of your connection to this infinite power.
Let's dig into that connection more. The idea that the subconscious isn't just a tool you use to reach the universal mind, but is how the universal mind actually operates through you. That feels like a subtle but huge difference.
It's a critical distinction in Murphy's teaching. He seems to be saying your subconscious isn't separate from God or spirit or the universal mind.
It's the pathway, the instrument.
Exactly. It's the very means through which that infinite intelligence becomes individualized and expresses as you.
And the sources connect this to Eastern ideas, too.
Yeah, specifically mentioning the concept of antakarana from Vedanta philosophy,
Which is?
described as the internal instrument, the mind, intellect, ego complex that connects the individual self, the Jivatman, to the ultimate reality, the Paramatman.
So in that analogy, the subconscious is acting like that inner instrument, the portal.
It serves as the portal, yes, the bridge between the individual expression and the universal source.
Which fits perfectly with that other quote. There is only one mind, and what you call your mind is a branch of the universal mind.
You see how that reframes everything, especially manifestation.
Yeah, because then you're not trying to pull something towards you from far away.
You're activating something within you that's already connected, already part of the infinite. You're creating resonance. Your subconscious isn't reaching out to the universe.
It is the universe, in a way, filtered through your own beliefs and self-concept.
That seems to be the implication.
Yeah.
Is the universe expressing itself as your reality, based on the signals it receives from your subconscious.
Okay. Mind-bending stuff.
Okay.
But let's get practical. If this power is innate and the subconscious is the gateway, how did Murphy teach people to actually use this? The sources say his methods aren't complicated, but rely on consistency.
That's the gist. Powerful because of alignment and repetition, not complexity. The material kind of distills a formula. First up is scientific prayer.
Or affirmative prayer, so stating what you want as if it's already true.
Exactly. Present tense, charged with real feeling, repeated with conviction, not begging, but affirming. Like that example. The cosmic energizer flows through me now. I am radiant with health, overflowing with abundance.
You're declaring the reality you're choosing to align with and impressing it.
Precisely. Then comes visualization and imagination. He apparently called imagination the workshop of the subconscious.
Okay, so picturing it vividly.
Yes, but more than just seeing. Engaging all your senses. What does it feel like? What do you hear? And crucially, imagining it from the end. Feel the feeling of the wish already fulfilled.
Why is that feeling part so important?
Because the next step is emotionalized belief. The subconscious, according to Murphy, responds most powerfully to emotion.
Okay, so you combine the image or the affirmation with the feeling of it being real.
Yes, but not anxious wanting or fearful desire. It's about cultivating elevated emotions, gratitude, joy, peace, awe, a calm, serene expectation that it's done or unfolding.
Got it. And the final piece seems to be repetition.
Repetition and subconscious saturation. Consistency is key. Repeating the affirmations, doing the visualizations regularly.
Especially the sources mentioned, just before sleep and right upon waking.
Yes, during that sleepy hypnagogic state. The idea is the conscious mind's filters are lower then, making the subconscious more receptive. Repeating lightly throughout the day helps too.
So the goal is to just suck the subconscious in this new reality.
Until it overrides the old programming and establishes these new patterns as dominant, Then the universal mind, or Cosmic Energizer, has a new blueprint to work with.
It makes a certain kind of intuitive sense, but, the skeptic asks, is there any modern science that even vaguely aligns with these ideas? The material does touch on this.
It does draw some interesting parallels, though it's important to be careful not to overstate them.
Sure.
One connection mentioned is the reticular activating system, the RAS.
That's the brain's filter, right? Decides what gets our attention.
Essentially, yes, it filters the massive stream of sensory input. The theory suggested is that by saturating your subconscious with a particular belief, say, about prosperity.
You're programming your RAS to notice things related to prosperity.
Exactly. Opportunities, resources, conversations that you might have otherwise filtered out. Like when you buy a certain car and suddenly see it everywhere, the RAS is highlighting what matches your focus.
Okay, that makes sense. What else? Neuroplasticity.
Right. The brain's proven ability to change and rewire itself based on experience, and importantly, based on thought and focus.
So the mental rehearsals, the affirmations, they actually change the brain's structure.
That's the idea supported by neuroscience. The material quotes Murphy saying repeated mental imagery builds new thought patterns, causing change in outer conditions. We now know visualization activates similar brain regions as actual experience.
So repetition strengthens those pathways.
Repetition and emotion, yeah. You're literally building new neural networks aligned with your desired reality.
And then there's a mention of heart-brain coherence and quantum resonance. That sounds a bit more out there.
It's definitely more speculative, but it's an area of research. The idea touched on is that certain emotional states, like deep gratitude or love, create synchronized patterns between the heart's electromagnetic field and the brain's activity.
Creating a coherent state.
Yes, and some researchers propose, and this is still very much a proposal, that this coherent internal state might somehow interact with the quantum field, potentially influencing outcomes. It certainly echoes Murphy's idea of aligning with the Cosmic Energizer.
So putting the science bits together, it's like programming the subconscious changes your brain wiring and filters,
Which shifts your perception and your behavior.
leading to different results in the world. Plus, maybe, just maybe, a more direct energetic influence through coherence.
It paints a picture where inner work isn't just wishful thinking, but can have tangible effects through multiple pathways, both psychological and perhaps even biophysical.
And Murphy apparently documented cases where this seemed to happen. The sources mention real-life stories.
Yes, his books and lectures are reportedly filled with them. The material gives a few examples, someone healing a skin condition with affirmations,
A woman manifesting a specific home by visualizing.
a businessman turning around a financial crisis by mentally living in abundance. Seemingly dramatic results.
And the common factor in these stories.
It always comes back to impressing the subconscious consistently with feeling and holding on to that belief, faith in the inner process.
Okay, thinking about all this now, in our world, 247 news cycles, social media, it feels like this isn't just interesting, it's maybe crucial.
I think that's a key point the material makes. Think about how much passive programming your subconscious gets bombarded with today.
Yeah, algorithms feeding you fear, scarcity, comparison.
Exactly. If you're not consciously choosing what goes into your subconscious, the external environment absolutely is programming it for you, often with messages that disempower you.
So Murphy's techniques become almost like mental self-defense or proactive creation.
An antidote, as the material puts it. There's that quote. You can rise above the noise of the world, program your mind with the divine ideas, health, wealth, peace, joy, and these will become your reality.
It's about taking back the reins of your inner world to consciously shape your outer one, especially in this noisy digital age.
And it loops back to his most profound teaching. You are not just a spectator, you're a participant.
A co-creator with this universal mind.
Through your subconscious. It's the portal, the conduit, where the infinite intelligence flows into specific form based on your beliefs.
That final quote really lands it. There is an infinite power within you, waiting to be activated by your conscious choice and belief.
It shifts the whole dynamic. According to Murphy, you're always manifesting. Your subconscious is always building based on its current programming.
So the real question isn't if you're manifesting.
But what are you manifesting? What blueprint are you consciously choosing to impress upon that powerful, creative subconscious mind today? Right now.
Wow. Okay, that was definitely a deep dive. Joseph Murphy's ideas about the subconscious as this bridge, this portal to the universal mind. It's powerful stuff.
And very practical, too, the way he presented it, making you really consider the potential lying dormant within your own mind.
Absolutely. It leaves you with a big thought to ponder based on everything we've discussed from the sources.
Hmm.
If your subconscious is constantly building your reality from the input it receives, what one conscious choice, what single idea could you start impressing upon it today to begin shifting that blueprint towards what you truly desire?